Good day, sir. Good day, classmates. So, our topic for today is same sex marriage. Same sex marriage, also known as gay marriage, is the marriage of two people of the same sex. There are records of the same sex marriage dating back to the first century in the modern era. Marriage equality for same sex couples was first legally acknowledged in the Netherlands in April 1, 2001, after royal assent was given by Queen Beatrix. Can we consider it ethical? So the question of morality of the same-sex marriage has become quite prevalent in the 21st century. Some Western cultures believe that the same-sex marriage is morally defensible and can be legalized. Using the right fad and political might, they have engineered the globalization of this phenomenon. This move has been strongly opposed mostly by developing nations and select religious denominations. The counter-argument of these groups is that the same-sex marriage is immoral, unnatural, and ungodly. This defends that the same-sex marriage cannot morally be defended successfully. It attempts to demonstrate that the same-sex marriage is not exclusively a Western phenomenon but has been practiced for a long time. Even in some African cultures, though in subtle ways, it argues that in whatever way it is practiced, the same-sex marriage is a cultural anomaly, and more or less than elixir and alibi respectively, aim at covering up immorality. This concludes that it is wrong for some cultures to attempt to globalize this cultural anomaly, especially by hanging its morality on the human rights doctrine. So in my own opinion, I will consider this study as unethical because it is immoral, unnatural, and ungodly. Why ungodly? Ungodly because God created the male for the female and God created the female for the male. These are the advantage and the disadvantage of this topic.
So we have five advantages and five disadvantages of same-sex marriage. And for five advantages of same-sex marriage, the first one is it creates real equality from the government perspectives. If two people of opposite gender can be married, then to be equal, a society must offer that ability to people of same gender as well if their purpose is to form a long-term relationship. That's how just about every marriage starts. There is a desire to build a foundation for a lifetime of togetherness. The second is it provides more help. Marriage brings with certain benefits like the extensions of healthcare, life insurance benefit, and even inheritance right. Having same-sex marriage within society allows this right to extend to partners in a way that civil partnerships don't always allow. This way, even if a will is not necessarily in a place, there is still a natural path of succession for that relationship.
Sa ganitong paraan, kahit na ang isang testamento ay hindi kinakailangan, mayroon pa ring natural na landas na paghihiwalay para sa relasyong iyon.
The third advantage is it offers happiness. In the US, the founding documents state that people have a right to pursue their own happiness. Same-sex marriage being recognized legal contract allow for this to take place for the population that find this to be an important part of their lives.
Do you love freedom? If your answer yes, then the same-sex marriage comes with this amazing gift. You could be able to enjoy complete freedom with a guy married.
Number 4. It provides business opportunity. Now that more people can get legally married, it offers more opportunity to the business sector, which provides wedding service. like photographers, bakers, florists, caterers, and many others have a completely new customer segment to target within their industry, giving them the chance to create many new local economic opportunities. Number 5. It is stop needless violence. In the some countries, same-gender relationships are punishable by the death penalty or life imprisonment. Many of these nations are in the Middle East. A movement towards marriage equality showed this nation that there is nothing to fear about having a relations like this.
According to the nation in the Middle East, ang isang kilusan tungo sa pagkapantay-pantay na pag-asawa ay nagpapakita sa mga bansang ito na walang dapat ikatakot tungkol sa pagkakaroon ng ganitong relasyon.
5 disadvantage of the same-sex marriage. Number 1, it creates change. People don't like change, but that's more because they fear the future consequences of it rather than the present decisions that are being made from from a fear of God's wrath to a fear of losing financial benefits. People who are afraid can make a very poor decisions to stop those feelings that can lead to physical, verbal, and spiritual attacks on the LGBTQI community and their supporters. Number 2, the government structure may not be supportive of the idea. Sometimes changes to the law happen so quickly that the supportive laws are unable to keep up. For example, some divorce laws may be specifically structured to not only support a divorce between different genders. This would mean a same-sex couple could get married, but a local court may not recognize their need for a divorce. Number 3, it imposes acceptance. It is true that not everyone may find themselves with the same gender attractions, but those that do not having marriage equality laws in place can seem like an imposition of a choice with society level consequences on them. It is important to note, however, that those who do not have the same gender attractions have felt that society has been imposing a standard upon them for several decades. When the tables are reversed, those who benefit from the changes can be just as brutal as those who are fearful of them. Number 4. Some feel that the same-sex marriage offends God. From a spiritual standpoint, many have been taught that God forbids the same-gender union. This is not because two people of the same gender are unable to love one another, but because of the sexual relationship involved within the marriage union. When the world assumes that God is on their side, terrible things can happen. Terrorism, for example. Number 5, it changes societal infrastructure. Businesses have to take time and endure cost to adjust to the additional rights granted. Hospital rights, insurance rights, and other changes aren't always subsidized, which means the business are effectively penalized. Marriage equality is a subject which brings passionate arguments to both sides. Whether you believe it is the right to step to take or is something that is potentially harmful to society. It is important to treat each other with respect in all things. Name calling, insults, and other derogatory comments only prove that instead of evaluating key points like these, a decision has been made on emotions. Let the debate begin, but on the facts involved. Additional to the topic is the sexual union. Sexual union is the act of pairing a male and female for reproductive purposes. The casual couplings of adolescents, the mating of some species occurs only in the spring. In my own opinion, sir, It is the force or sa pilitang mga bagay-bagay para lamang makapag-produce ng isang tao. Halimbawa nito, correct me if I'm wrong, is sa mga Muslim brothers natin. Sila yung mga kahit na hindi mo pa nakikita, hindi mo pa mahal, basta gusto ng mga parents mo na mag-produce kayo or gusto nila na kayo sa isa't isa, you will produce species.